I'm gonna work this flake of obsidian here today. It's kind of odd shaped. See what we can get out of it. It ain't gonna be as big as this. It's probably gonna be, you know, somewhere in here, somewhere like, you know, right in here somewhere, kind of small. Starting off right, gotta drop the point every time. Every time. We're just gonna zigzag this edge first. Kind of work our way around it. See if we can't get some platforms set up on this opposite edge. Drive some flake stuff across here. I'll have to take, might as well take some flakes off the other side to, while I'm doing this, so we'll just go ahead and go for it. But as soon as I can get something established to work on this other side, I want to. I have to be careful. If I hit too high of a platform far out on the end like that, I'll break it in half. Kind of trying to use my zigzag to my advantage instead of just zigzagging, and I kind of want to run some flakes while I do it. I don't have a ton of material to work with here, so gotta make what we've got count. Trying to get her flattened out where we can kind of more or less tell what's going on here. Because of the way this is shaped, to bring everything down to this level is going to be hard, but that is what the goal is. Same thing on the other side. I have to bring everything down to this level, so we're going to lose some off the back here to take that curvature out, or try. We're going to take a couple flakes across here. thin edge back there doesn't make for the most wonderful platforms ever. So it needs some pretty good abrading if you're going to try to run across something like that. It doesn't need it necessarily, but I like to make sure I get all the original flake scar off my point. I just prefer it that way. I'm not doing bad here. I'm not sure what we're going to build out of this. I'm kind of thinking about it. See how thin we can push it. This little section right here, I don't love it. I think we'll just stick with the direct percussion. I thought about switching over to the indirect, but I don't really like working obsidian with indirect. We may switch over here at the end depending on how thin I can get this. Like this tip, we'll try it on it because that would make life a lot easier down there. So. You have to be careful when doing this on obsidian. So easy to either one, take an overshot, or two, run something super deep off in there and crack it. Alright, I think it's time to do some pressure work and then switch back over to the indirect. I'm kind of glad we used it. It seems to have helped with a lot of the issues I was having, but this needs to be pressure flaked to get some new platforms established in a few spots. And then we'll come back to it. I've worked a bunch of obsidian the last couple days. I don't normally do that, but I got out some last night and made a Clovis out of it. I did it on video. I just didn't like the video. I still have it saved. If y'all want to see that, let me know. But y'all will probably see this one first. I didn't like the Clovis because the flutes weren't very deep, which is, you know, you want them nice flute scars with the hinges and all that. It's still Clovis. It's just not like a great Clovis. So I didn't edit it and post it yet. I do still have it, but I will not be doing any more indirect along the back, so I need to try to get most of that cleaned up with the pressure. Alright, that needs to be pressure flaked. I can't risk putting the indirect on it down there. Pressure flake is going to be risky enough. I'm going to give it one more pass of pressure flaking, possibly a little bit more. I don't want to lose this nice width we have, but I want to clean this edge up. Working right here around this end is not fun. I don't know what approach we're going to take on a point style yet. That's pretty thin, especially for obsidian for me. I don't like to push them super far. And this isn't the see-through stuff anyway, so this is just black. Pretty thin. I wish I could probably take one more flake of indirect out of here and out of here. It's just too, it's too much. This side looks a little better. We'll probably get that refined when we go to pressure flaking it, but just leave it like it is for now and figure out what we're going to make out of it. I think we attempted to do a gunther on camera one time and it wasn't very good. Let's attempt it out of this. It's going to be a little bit bigger than these typically are. Like, these are little arrow points. But I don't really mind. Let's try to do it. We've got a lot of material here to work with to get all that right and get these kind of swooped out notches like this. Let's try one like that and see what we can do. It's going to be difficult and y'all are going to have to sit through a lot of pressure flaking, but I don't see why not. Let's try it. Let's kind of get the rough shape of it in there first, and then let's go from there. So we're going to make these the starts of our corners, and we're going to come up in here like this, and we're going to come up here like this. So I'm going to put my stem in first. That seems like a logical thing to do. And then I'm going to flake back to where my stem is, and then kind of flake it out around it. I'm going to flip this over and use the wooden side. This is going to be difficult to do on this pad. I think I may have to switch to something else. Let's just, for the time being, switch over to this. I don't typically pressure flake on my leg, but just because of what I'm trying to do here, I won't. I want some good support underneath it, and I may, once I get this established, flip it back to the hand pad. I'm glad that I looked at that, because we weren't on camera. Anyway, in case I forgot it, we're going to try to, in case I missed it, we're going to make a large gunther style point. These were from, this one says Texas, but they came from all over the place. Washington, Oregon. All these up here are from Washington and Oregon. These are from Texas, Washington. So they had obsidian. Now, I don't know if none of those are made out of obsidian, but I don't care. So I don't like pressure flaking on my leg, so we're going to switch back to this and just, we're slowly going to work our way through this. This is a challenging, to say the least, point style to make. So I think the best way to go about it is to get the base and the little pieces that will become your ears established first. I made one of these once before and I didn't start with a wide enough, I think I actually did a video on it, but I didn't call it a gunther. I might have called it that in the video, but I didn't title it that because it didn't work right. I just called it obsidian arrow point. And we're going to call this one giant gunther because it's way bigger than those are. You also need a nice thin preform to start with something like this. And once we get our wings established where we kind of want them, then we'll come back and work on the edge stuff. Because that also helps refine the look of this. I'm having trouble seeing. Let me get us a little more light. I don't want this light too close most of the time because I don't want to drown everything out, but I need it right now. It does drown stuff out. Does that air conditioner that just kicked on, can y'all hear that? I need to look at that on video and see if like it's driving y'all crazy. I wonder about that fan I have sitting over there sometimes, if y'all can hear that. Should I cut down the hours of pressure flaking or just leave it full length? I think I'm just going to leave it full length. Y'all know how to skip if y'all don't like it. And YouTube will tell me, hey, they didn't like this. Alright, that's probably about deep enough. Now we need to come in and like bring all this up coming from the tip. This light is blinding y'all too. It messes with stuff too much. And the obsidian is super shiny, which doesn't really help matters. So now we're just going to casually start working our way up the point from the tip of the wing. We'll have to be really careful because the more we work this in, the more delicate that tip out there is going to become, and it will probably need some abrading. I'm going to do one side at a time for right now so I can try to match symmetry. I'll do one side to a certain point, take them till I think they're both about even, and then go back, work another one for a little while, take them till I think they're both about even, and then come back. That's how I think will be the best approach to this. Because they need to match. They don't have to match, but it looks better if they do. Now I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to braid it to the other side, and we're kind of trying to induce a swoop in it, which you can kind of see we're starting to get. Okay, now we'll bring this other side in and attempt to do the same matching thing with it. If y'all can't tell, I'm being a lot more careful than I normally am. Just because this is obsidian and it's thin and it's got all kinds of wonky angles and ears and stuff on it. Yeah, whoever was napping these back in the day was being a show-off. I know there's another guy on YouTube, which I'm sure y'all have seen. He's actually used to be one of my favorite people to watch, but he doesn't really make videos anymore. Old Primitive Pathways or Billy Burger. He makes some awesome ones of these, all using abo. He's really good at it. They're art. And they're little itty bitty things, because he's being a lot more correct than I am, per se. Like, this is way too big. They weren't this big. I don't care. Get right in there on that tip. Oh yeah, that's real nice right there. I'm gonna do one more pass around it and we're gonna stop. I like that a lot. Alright, I'm going to sharpen my pressure faker, and then, because it's pretty dull, as you can tell, which I like for doing that edge work stuff. I'm going to sharpen it. I'm going to get in here and get this tip just a little bit, and then we're going to leave it alone. I'm pretty happy with that. Should we consult the book? I mean, yeah. That's pretty spot on. Like I said, it's huge. This is probably actual size. I think that is actual size. So we're like, you know, 4 times larger than it needs to be, but oh well. I don't know if y'all could see that. So anyway, in case y'all couldn't see that. Yeah. We're like 4 times larger than it needs to be, but we'll ride with it. It's a giant gunther. It's a new type. I don't know if y'all have heard of it. Giant gunther. But I said it was going to be too big at the beginning. Alright, sharpen my pressure flaker wherever my file is. And clean everything up just a little bit, and we'll call that one good. It's weird as sometimes this steel seems easier to sharpen than a piece of copper. Somebody explain that to me. It's because it's smaller. Because it's itty bitty little 1/8 inch thing. Either that or that copper's work hardened to the point that it's harder than... No, there's no way. This is just mild steel, but there's no way. Either that or it just clogs up my file more. If y'all are good with that, I'm good with that. I think y'all are good with it, right? I really like it. I think it turned out pretty good. Well, thank y'all for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't. I would really appreciate it. Liking the video, commenting on the video. I mean, even if you don't have anything super cool you want to comment, even if you just want to say, you know, y'all can talk about whatever in my comment section. I'm not going to complain. So, alright. Well, I appreciate it. Thank y'all for watching.